Sony is on a hot streak with the PlayStation 5, and the Japanese gaming giant is showing no signs of stopping anytime soon. 2026 and beyond is packed with exclusives that break new territory or improve upon what came before, and we will be discussing some of these games with this feature. Please note that this list consists of full, timed, and console exclusives. Saros, release date April 30th. Saros is a true spiritual successor to Returnal, taking everything that worked and doubling down on it, while introducing some clever design tactics to make it feel more inclusive. Early teases suggest another fast-paced, mechanically demanding action experience, but this time with a stronger focus on world building and character progression that stays in between runs. With Housemarque's proven ability to blend tight gameplay with striking visuals, Saros is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing PS5 exclusives on the horizon. Intergalactic. Naughty Dog's brand new IP, Intergalactic, marks a major shift for the studio known for grounded storytelling. Set in a retro-futuristic sci-fi universe, the game looks to blend cinematic storytelling with expansive exploration and combat systems that are a lot more dense than what we're used to. While details remain scarce at the moment, Naughty Dog's pedigree alone makes this a project worth watching closely, and we will be observing it more closely in the coming weeks and months. Marvel's Wolverine, release date late 2026. Insomniac Games has cemented its reputation as one of the best names in Sony's first-party roster of developers, and Marvel's Wolverine is the next big step for the team. Set to release in 2026, Marvel's Wolverine will allegedly focus on a more personal narrative, and the gameplay trailers show some amazing and fast combat, which comes together to make it one of the most highly anticipated games of the year. Phantom Blade Zero, release date September 9th. Phantom Blade Zero is all about defeating enemies and taking part in lightning-fast combat encounters, and doing it all with absolute style. It blends traditional Chinese martial arts with a dark and gritty aesthetic, and the game seems poised to deliver fluid swordplay that emphasizes precision and timing over swinging, flashy combos and racking in multipliers. Unlike many Souls-likes, Phantom Blade Zero appears to focus more on speed and spectacle without sacrificing depth, which is a rather interesting premise. If it delivers on its promise of seamless combat animations and stylish encounters, this could be a standout action title for PS5 players craving something fresh. Nioh 3, release date February 6th. Nioh has gone on to become a highly successful Souls-like series, and Nioh 3 seems poised to continue on that goodwill. It's largely built around the same combat framework, but Nioh 3 introduces the addition of both samurai and ninja combat styles, which not only add more variety, but should also add an element of personal expression to the meticulous dance of dodges. The visuals and art direction look striking, and Nioh 3 is definitely on our radar when it comes out on February 6th, 2026. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls looks to bring Marvel's iconic characters into a more mechanically focused fighting game framework. Rather than chasing realism, the game leans into stylized visuals and fast-paced combat that's inspired by classic arcade fighters. The combat will unsurprisingly focus on tight inputs, flashy supers, and tag-based mechanics that reward both mechanical prowess and game knowledge. Fair Games. Fair Games is Sony's bold attempt at a competitive, multiplayer-focused experience built around high-stakes heists and player-driven chaos. Developed by Haven Studios, the game emphasizes planning, teamwork, and adaptability rather than pure gunplay. Each match is designed to create unpredictable scenarios where things can go wrong very quickly, forcing players to think on their feet. Its vibrant presentation and stylish tone give it a distinct identity, and Fair Games has the potential to stand out if its systems encourage memorable, emergent moments. Ballad of Antara. Ballad of Antara is a dark fantasy action RPG that blends Souls-like sensibilities with a narrative that's a lot easier to digest. The game's dual reality mechanic allows players to shift between different versions of the same world, and that adds an interesting layer to both exploration and combat. Encounters appear deliberate and punishing without feeling overly restrictive, striking a balance between challenge and accessibility. Combined with stellar art direction and ominous atmosphere, Ballad of Antara looks like a title that could become a huge hit. Arknights Enfield, release date January 22nd. Arknight's Enfield marks a significant evolution for the franchise, morphing from its mobile tower defense roots into a full-scale action RPG experience. The game features real-time combat, squad-based mechanics, and expansive environments that place a greater emphasis on exploration. It's already a big hit via the beta, and we're hoping to see a similarly positive response on the PS5 when it comes out in January this year. Cairn, release date January 29th. Cairn takes a refreshingly grounded approach by focusing almost entirely on climbing and survival. It's completely devoid of any combat, and the game challenges players through careful resource management, environmental awareness, and precise movement. Every ascent feels dangerous, with mistakes carrying real consequences. It flaunts a rather tasteful art direction which gives the game a unique look and feel. Cairn may not appeal to everyone, but for players looking for something slower, more methodical, and deeply immersive, it stands out as one of the more unique PS5 exclusives in development. Tokyo Extreme Racer, release date February 26th. Tokyo Extreme Racer's return brings back a style of racing that prioritizes atmosphere and one-on-one rivalries over flashy spectacle. Set on Japanese highways, the game focuses on high-speed duels, vehicle customization, and learning the nuances of each track. But it's all quite nostalgic. On PS5, the series looks poised to modernize its visuals while retaining the moody tone that made it so memorable in the first place. Brocade-clad Guard. Brocade-clad Guard immediately stands out thanks to its striking art direction and historical inspirations. Drawing from ancient Chinese aesthetics, the game emphasizes elegant yet deadly combat encounters against some of the fiercest enemies in the land. Swordplay is deliberate and disciplined, rewarding timing and positioning over reckless aggression. While details remain relatively scarce, the game's visual identity alone makes it one of the more intriguing action RPGs on the list. Exil-Edge. Another game from PlayStation's China Hero Initiative, Exil-Edge is shaping up to be a slick action RPG with an emphasis on speed and fluidity. Combat revolves around being an aggressive warrior, encouraging players to chain attacks, abilities, and movement into seamless encounters. The futuristic aesthetic and vibrant visual effects give it a strong identity, helping it stand apart from the barrage of traditional fantasy RPGs. Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic Remake. The remake of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remains one of the most anticipated PS5 exclusives, even after a prolonged and uncertain development cycle. Rebuilding such a beloved RPG from modern hardware is a massive undertaking, and while details on the actual implementation remain scant for now, updated visuals, refined combat systems, and fully voiced characters could breathe new life into its iconic story and open the experience up to a whole new set of fans. Physant. Physant marks Hideo Kojima's long-awaited return to the stealth action genre, and expectations are understandably sky-high. Described as a spiritual successor to Metal Gear Solid, the game aims to blend cinematic storytelling with deep, systemic stealth gameplay. While concrete information remains tightly under wraps, Physant is very much in a position to serve as a major tentpole release for PlayStation. 4-Loop. 4-Loop is an experimental sci-fi title built entirely around repetition and discovery, where each run challenges players to learn more about the world and its systems. Rather than relying on traditional progression, the game encourages mastery through knowledge and experimentation. This structure allows for organic storytelling and player-driven problem-solving. If executed well, 4-Loop could offer a deeply engaging experience that rewards curiosity and patience, standing apart from more conventional action-driven releases on the platform. Psycho Dead. Psycho Dead puts players in the shoes of a protagonist who has to escape from a secret laboratory that's filled with all sorts of bizarre creatures. The game flaunts great use of environmental storytelling, using the surroundings to tell a story rather than relying on pure exposition. There are stalker enemies in the vein of something like Mr. X, psychic powers that can be used against enemies, and puzzles that need to be solved in order to progress. So fans of the genre should definitely check this one out. Parasite Mutant. Parasite Mutant blends action and horror through a mutation-driven progression system that allows players to evolve their abilities by absorbing enemy traits. This creates an interesting risk-slash-reward dynamic, as greater power often comes at a visible cost. Combat appears fast and aggressive, completed by a gritty body horror-inspired aesthetic. The game's tone feels unapologetically dark, setting it apart from more polished action titles. If its mechanics are balanced well, Parasite Mutant could deliver a uniquely brutal and memorable PS5 experience. Lulan, the Cursed Sand. Lulan the Cursed Sand draws inspiration from ancient myths and desert folklore, and presents a hauntingly beautiful world filled with mystery. Played in an isometric perspective, the moment-to-moment gameplay revolves around crawling through enemy-infested dungeons and taking part in free-flowing combat that's just as deliberate as it is flashy. The art direction on offer is also something worth noting, and Lulan the Cursed Sand does stand out amongst the barrage of other RPGs that are set to come out in the near future. Project the Perceiver. Currently in development at 17ZHE, Project the Perceiver is all about using different masks to gain special powers in a battle and use them to conquer the fiercest enemies of the land. It operates on a Sekiro-esque framework where the power fantasy of being a warrior has to be rightfully earned, and the visuals look really breathtaking. Project the Perceiver has a lot of great things hidden up its sleeves, and it's definitely something that could end up being really big if it plays out correctly. Hey, did you know that we at Gaming Bolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.